Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think. Urinary tract infections are extremely common. Around 1 in 2 women and 1 in 20 men will get a UTI in their lifetime. Plus, once you've had one UT challenge, you're way more susceptible to another in the future. That's why you just need Just Thrive's UT123. This product can actually prevent UTIs while maintaining your urinary tract health. UT123 targets both immediate and long-term relief. We've all heard to drink cranberry juice for your urinary tract, but did you know that for the full effects, you need the whole cranberry? Not just juice, but the skin, flesh, and even the seeds. Well, UT123 uses superior ingredients that utilizes the whole fruit. This supplement truly is the full package. So if you're someone who struggles with the constant urge to urinate, a burning feeling when you pee, pelvic pain, or just want to be proactive in your urinary health, Just Thrive is for you. Just Thrive is so confident you'll love their product that there is a 100% money-back guarantee on every purchase made through justthrivehealth.com. And for a limited time, you can save 20% off site-wide at justthrivehealth.com with promo code SEXWithEmily. That's justthrivehealth.com and use code SEXWithEmily for 20% off your order. You're going to love it.
Have you guys heard my news? I have a new sex gig. I'm not a porn star. It's better. I just launched my new premium skincare brand called Emily & Tony. These products are tried and true to help spice up your sex life, which is what I'm all about. I'm talking about massage oil candles that are 1 part candle, 1 part body oil, and check out these flavors. They come in delicious scents like creme de vanilla, cocoa, and fougere. And they're hydrating, and they leave your skin feeling super luxurious. We even have a product for the guys called Down Under Comfort that helps keep their balls smelling fresh and clean and dry all day, which is exactly what you want, right? So guys, if you take care of your balls, your partner will take care of you. So help us keep this podcast free. Use code Emily to get 20% off your first purchase at emilyandtony.com. Trust me, you'll love them, and you're welcome.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they called them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God, I feel so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. You know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information about Sex with Emily, go to sexwithemily.com where you can listen to our podcast, sign up for our mailing list, and check out all that fun stuff. You can also sign up for our RSS feed so you'll never miss a Sex with Emily show again. We're also always looking for advertisers. If you know any great products that you might be interested in or anyone you'd like to advertise, you can email me feedback at sexwithemily.com. Today's show, we will be reading your emails that you sent to feedback at sexwithemily.com. Some people found me on Facebook, which is I have a Sex with Emily fan page, or Twitter, Emily Morse, M-O-R-S-E. Here's the topics in some of the letters, some of the emails. Hair down there. Gold diggers. This has come up a lot. Mm-hmm. Circumcision. And plus, we're going to be reading some sex tips, how to make the sex better for the woman, as well as sex in the news. Hey, Menace, happy Friday.
I know. I'm very excited because Black Friday is coming soon, and you know me, I love shopping.
You hate it.
No.
You love shopping?
I love shopping.
I don't know this about you. What do you mean you love shopping?
See, you never listen to anything I said.
I do listen. I just don't remember.
Remember I said, I like going shopping with
because your
women.
mom took you shopping. Totally. See, I just need a little reminder to bring me back to the whole story now and your mom and the childhood and you love shopping.
Yeah.
Can we go shopping sometime?
I would
We were
love
supposed
to
to
go
have
shopping.
plans this week.
We did?
Well, we talked. See, you don't remember anything that I say.
What?
Last week I said to you, we talked about it. We're like, yeah, we'll do something next week. Didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Well, my schedule got changed last minute.
Yeah, whatever. Mine too.
I'm
super busy.
I'm going to work early in the morning now.
No time for you. You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
But let me tell you something that was cool.
Okay.
This week.
Go.
I got invited to go to Pixar.
Cool.
Right? So
Right.
I go to Pixar, and they're like, yeah, we want to show the screening of this movie. And the movie is called The Black Swan. It comes out December 1st. And Natalie Portman's in it. I'm telling you, Natalie Portman's vagina gets violated the entire movie from beginning to end.
What do you mean it gets violated?
It means there's a ton of masturbation in it. There's
a Pixar film?
It's not. It's not a Pixar film.
Oh, they did the screening at Pixar.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's masturbation. There's other guys doing things too.
Really? Was it hot?
It was pretty hot, and there was some girl-on-girl action that was more girl-on-girl action that I've seen in a movie than any other movie.
Oh my God, Natalie Portman stepping out.
Yeah,
she hasn't done anything that crazy lately. So, weren't her last few movies kind of flops?
I haven't.
From what I know about
seen
culture,
movies.
pop culture, but I feel like she hasn't been. She's always a star. Like she's always got that sort of elevated status. Like whatever she does, people love Natalie Portman. They always have.
Well, she's awesome.
But I don't feel like there's been anything that she's done lately. And this sounds like this could either be really great for her career, or really bad for her career.
Oh no, people are already saying that she's going to be nominated.
Wow.
Academy Awards and.
So why so much sex in it? Is it like violation sex? Is it like hot sex that she's consenting to? Is it?
Yeah, it's stuff that she's consenting to, I think. But the point is that it's all throughout the movie is because she is so uptight.
Oh.
So people are like, you need to be, less uptight from the people surrounding her. So that's why this comes up in the movie.
And so
a
is
lot.
she hot? Is it hot to watch her masturbate?
Yeah, it's pretty hot, and there's some funny parts. So
Really? Oh,
I
good.
definitely recommend it. It's an awesome movie. It was made by the guy who did The Wrestler.
Oh, okay. That was a great movie.
Yeah, so check out
One
the Black
of the movies
Swan.
that I've seen in the last 3 years.
Yeah, check out
Okay.
You watched that movie?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why is that weird?
I don't know. I just think
I only see movies when I'm dating someone. So I was dating someone and I saw it. Otherwise, I don't leave my house. I mean, I leave my house, but usually I'm home working.
The Wrestler had this perception that it was so indie, so now I'm not surprised.
Yeah, because I like indie films.
I only see indie films, and I only go...
You know what other film I saw this week,
What?
hence on a date,
Yeah?
was The Social Network. Did you see it? The Facebook movie?
Yeah,
Did you like
I saw
it? What do you mean, of course? You always see movies? I loved it. And it reminded me, I thought it was so good about him being just so driven. I know so many people like that living in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
We're home to so many geniuses and billionaires who have made so much money off of different companies. And I just feel like it just captured that energy and like his drive and his genius. And the thing that was so interesting was, that just the way Facebook it's all about Facebook and how he started Facebook when he was at Harvard. If you haven't seen it yet, which probably everyone's seen it, I'm seeing it a little late. But the interesting part, I love the part because this ties into something that I wanted to mention, that he says how he decided to put in relationship status in Facebook, that he was sitting there in class and some guy comes up and goes, hey, you know that girl who sits behind you in, chemistry? Like, what's her, do you know if she's dating? Is she in a relationship? And all of a sudden he's like, ding, and he runs upstairs and he's like, relationship status. And that has become such a huge part of Facebook. And that's how you figure out like who's dating who's not, who's what everyone's doing. So I thought that was interesting.
I want to talk to you. But the biggest point of that entire story that we swept under the rug, you were on a date. So what's going on?
Okay.
Any making out or what?
I didn't make out, no, but I was on a date with a guy from LA. I mean, no, we made out, not in the movie theater, but we shared popcorn, which was not good popcorn, actually, by the way, which pissed me off, but that's another story. Yeah, it's a guy from LA. He's in town, and we went to a movie and hung out, and
now,
it was
this
fun.
is the guy from LA that just flies up to see you. He makes excuses like...
Yes.
He has no business really in San Francisco.
He says he has business here. He's going to be here again for business on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
What's the business?
I don't know. I can't. He's just starting doing some startup company. Yeah. So it was fun. I like them. I don't know. I'm afraid that my Manatorium, while it was really great for me, it also made me realize how much I really enjoy my company and being alone.
Really?
And I was ready for him to, like, it was great, but I was like, okay, time to catch a flight, isn't it?
You are like...
I'm harsh, I know, but I really like him.
Like
I think he's
hermit.
awesome. I have become
going into a little hermit stage.
I know it's kind of bad, but no, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just interesting. I have so much going on with this Sex with Emily craziness that it's kind of all these things, the Bravo show, the book, a lot of things that I'm creating and writing, and I'm at home and I'm reading sex, and I got sex school homework, which I haven't really even done yet, but I've got all these books to read and like hundreds of DVDs to watch, and a lot of them are sex related.
I'm not going to get afraid for your well-being until you get a cat.
Exactly.
Because when you become the crazy cat lady, then...
I just said it to my friends. I'm like, how was your date? I'm like, just beware when I start calling you about cats. And I said the same thing. But no, I like him. And then this other guy I'm going out with this weekend, he wants to cook me dinner at his house.
Really?
Yeah. And he's a really good chef. He's a really good cook, apparently. And I've never, I store my oven is storage, basically. I have like sweaters and books in there,
And
which is
sex
bad
toys.
because they get sex toys. I leave them all in my oven because I've never used my oven. And he's like, oh, I hope you'll think it's good. I'm like, anything. It's better than frozen dinner, which is what I eat a lot. So anyway, that'll be fun. But yeah, how you dating?
Am I dating? No.
Okay.
I'm not.
You're still in your 30-day sobatorium?
No. Oh, drinking?
Not drinking.
Yeah. No, I'm not drinking until March, until I go to Austin, Texas.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting though, the Facebook thing, why it struck me is because this is a phenomenon that's happened lately with a bunch of friends that I know and myself who are dating people. And do you realize that, I don't know if this is happening in your world, but people are not becoming friends with people they're dating on Facebook right away. Like I think it's too soon. You wait like at least a month or two till you're dating someone until you become friends on Facebook. Like neither person wants to. But of course you like see their profile. You can see as much as they'll show, but you don't become friends. It becomes like a moment in your relationship when you become friends. But it's not like, hey, want to go on a date Tuesday? And then someone asks you to be friends. I feel like there's this certain waiting period, like about 30 to 60 days before people are actually becoming friends if you're dating someone. If you're not dating, fine, become friends right away. But if you're dating, you don't become Facebook friends right away. Because it reveals so much about your life. And it's almost like, how are we even going to get to start to know each other? You're going to see the 10 parties I went to last week or all these people that I'm, are writing on my wall. And I think it's good to keep a little of that anonymous. It's like opening up your entire world to them in like 5 seconds.
And then it's become such a detective service.
I know.
Because once you tell all your friends, like, oh, I'm going to go out on a date with this guy. And they're like, oh, let me see his Facebook page.
Exactly.
And then so they... do surveillance on the Facebook page when you're not watching it.
Exactly.
So they're like, oh, I saw him. He just posted this thing.
Right. Or I've logged into a friend's Facebook to see a guy that I wasn't dating anymore. This actually is one of the letters someone emails about should you be friends with your exes on Facebook? We'll get into that later, but it's like, do you think that you should be friends with your exes on Facebook? I feel like it depends on the ex. Some exes have defriended me because they just didn't want to see what was up with me. But like my exes from 10 years ago, we're all friends on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't care personally.
Right. I don't care either. I'm like, you can see my world. What do I care? I really don't. So I think, so then this week I was like MacGyver. So here's the thing. This guy, I really was. I have to say that this is another thing about what I realized having a man in my life. This guy was here last weekend for 2 nights. And there were certain things that were really good about having a man around. And I realized since I don't have a man around that, like he fixed my shelf, which has been broken for 5 years. He fixed the light in my car. This sounds really silly, but you know when you turn off the lights to your car, the light goes on so you can see it, and then you shut the door and the light turns off. Well, for the 3 years I've had my car, I have to manually turn it on because some switch got hit that never... And he fixed it, and literally it changed my life. Like, I'm so happy getting out of the car now, and I'm like, I need a man in my life just to come and fix shit, just to kind of make things work smoothly. He fixed my shelf, he fixed that, he did something else. I'm like, he's a good guy. Men are important. They can be good for those things. And sex, of course. But the sex is, interesting. Yeah. I talk about my sex life a lot, don't I? I was talking to these guys last week. They're like, you don't talk about your sex life enough.
No, well, you've apparently said you haven't had a sex
I haven't
life.
had sex, and I have had sex now lately.
You've
I guess
had.
I know this is such a
You're just sweeping on this is supposed to be like a big thing.
I know. This is supposed to be a big thing, and I did have sex. So I feel like I was interviewed by this other guy who has a podcast, and he interviewed me, and he's like, have you had sex? I'm like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even told my listeners that I had sex.
Wow.
So I did have sex. It was uneventful.
Wow. How'd this happen?
I hope to God that people don't listen to the show that I have sex with. It was just fine. How did this happen? We were dating for a little bit. One of the guys I was dating, and we had sex, and it was interesting. It was good. It wasn't like earth-shattering amazing, but it was good.
Was there wine of it?
Was there wine involved?
Yeah.
We had a few glasses of wine.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to see how this went down.
So it went down. Well, we had been dating. We got on a few dates and several for like 2 months. And then we had sex. And it was just, I don't know. I think that you cannot, this is an important point. You cannot judge sex on the first time you have sex with someone. You just can't, because sex can definitely get better over time. In fact, usually it does. And so, I mean, I've had a lot of friends. My friend just had sex with a guy for the first time, and she called me, and she's like, oh, my God, it was really bad. He didn't get that hard, and da-da-da. But I think a lot of times men are nervous at the beginning the first time they have sex. Sometimes men – do you ever get nervous the first time?
Yeah, the first time you want to perform.
And you're like, you want to perform, and you're like, oh, my God. And so much of sexual issues that men have, like they can't get hard or they can't stay hard, it has to do with psychological functioning, like they're nervous or whatever. So I just think you got to give people a chance. So I'll give them a chance. So I did have sex, whatever. It didn't like rock my world, but
was it just one time?
Yeah,
just one time.
Just one time.
Oh, okay.
And
liar! Why are you smiling?
I'm not lying. It's true. It was one time. It was one time. It was fine.
Lies.
I'm not so many lies. I don't
You're
lie.
gonna get buried under the lies.
No,
then
I'm
why
not
are you smiling
lying.
so
I'm not
much?
smiling. No, but it was good. It was interesting.
Okay.
Oh my God! But
Interesting.
someone was saying like, you don't talk about your own sex. I was like, I do though talk about my sex life, but I could get into it more. And maybe I will in recent weeks since I was off of it for so long. But what I'm saying is my life is perfectly full and fine without it right now, which is ironic because I have a sex show. But it also seems that the thing that is so lately that has been interesting too is that, and I talked to this guy about it because having the sex talk show that I think they got, and I mentioned this I think a few weeks ago, but that the number one question that I get asked and that guys get asked when they're dating me is like, are men intimidated by you? Do they think you know everything and you're the sex expert? And I do not think of myself that, even though I guess I am, I byproduct of doing the show for 5 years and I know a ton about sex and I'm in sex school. But I never really thought, because I'm a whole person and I'm not just sex with Emily, that someone would get intimidated. But sure enough, this guy told me that like it did make him a little nervous. So I think that this question that he asked me is kind of true, that people get like a little tripped up on it. Like, is she expecting certain things, and do I have to do backflips? And I don't.
I would just be afraid that I would suck and then you would tell everybody about it.
I don't name names.
Like you just did.
I don't name names.
It was uneventful.
Did I say that?
And it was pretty much, you're just saying it was awful. But
no, it wasn't awful. It just wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I've had those experiences too, but I think maybe we're both a little rusty. I don't know. So there you have it. Okay, should we, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to wait for you to go to the next thing.
You're done?
I'm done.
Let's move into some sex in the news.
The sex sucked, and we're moving on.
Honey, don't encapsulate that, because I don't know who listens to the shows. And it's so funny because, do you remember this last year I was dating this guy?
Yeah.
And he said that he's like, I don't listen to your show. I've never, oh yeah, when is it on? He made it like, what is it? It's a pod, what?
Yeah.
It's a
he's totally checking it out.
So sure enough, I came on the show and I said, Menace, I dated this guy and he babed me on the second date. He's like, hey babe, downstairs. I'm like, I just got prematurely babed. So he heard me say that, and then like the next day he texted me, he's like, hey babe, ha ha ha. And I'm like, I thought you don't listen to my show. So they do listen. So
well, you should tell them, if you're gonna listen to my show, don't be a pussy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
FYI, Menace says don't be a pussy.
Don't be a pussy, and don't be a crybaby.
You're right.
When we talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get material if I'm not dating you and sleeping with you. And okay, sex in the news. Awkward. George Bush reveals he drunkenly asked about female guests' sex life during dinner party with his parents. This was a long time ago. You know that George Bush used to have a drinking problem.
Yes.
Or some would say once you have a drinking problem, you always have.
I've seen videos of him.
Really?
There's videos on the internet
I've never
of him
seen it.
wasted.
Awesome. Love to see those. Former U.S. President George Bush has revealed he once got so drunk he questioned a woman about her sex life in front of his wife and parents. Mr. Bush, who said he quit drinking in 1986, said in an interview with the Today Show he asked his parents' friends the inappropriate questions during a dinner. His outburst was greeted with total silence and serious daggers from the guest. So I'm drunk at the dinner table at Mother and Dad's house in Maine, he told host Matt Lauer in his first TV interview since leaving the White House. And my brothers and sisters are there. My wife Laura's there. And I'm sitting next to a beautiful woman, a friend of Mother's and Dad's. Who says mother and dad? And I said to her out loud, what is sex like after 50? The woman, who was not named, saw the funny side eventually, he said, because when the former Texas governor turned 50, she sent him a note asking, well, George, how is the sex? Mr. Bush, 64, said he had a love affair with alcohol, but never thought about having a drink while he was in the White House. Right after I quit drinking, I was thinking about drinking, he said. But by the time I got to the White House, I hadn't had a drink in a very long time. So George Bush is interested in sex. How about that?
I like that. It sounds like George Bush was a guy that you would want to party with.
It sounds like, exactly. It sounds like he needs another drink, maybe, because then he'd be more fun. Maybe he should have had a drink when he was in the White House, and we'd be in a better situation right now. I don't know. Can you imagine him sitting there at dinner, like with his parents, being like, so how's your sex life? But I love that the woman remembered and like circled back years later.
Yeah.
It was like, how's your sex life?
That's awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Sex toy drive-thru. An Alabama shop is to offer window service. So they're a sex shop, and they're opening a drive-thru sex shop in Huntsville, Alabama. Pleasures, a one-stop romance shop that challenged Alabama's ban on sex toys, has a unique claim to fame. It will feature 3 sex toy drive-through lanes at its new University Drive location. 3. And first of all, they're outlawed. Sex toys are out. Do you know sex toys are still outlawed in like 2 to 3 states? I'm not sure which ones. I think like Texas is one, and Alabama. Yeah, you can't have sex. Like literally, they're illegal to have sex toys. I mean, they still have them, but they're illegal.
I'm gonna move to Texas.
What? Oh, you should move to Texas. You won't have to hear me talking about sex toys with you.
That's why I'm going to Austin, just because they don't like sex toys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put some contraband in your bag and get you arrested. Pleasures owner Cherry Williams said the store will be the first such store in the country to sell adult toys through a drive-through window. Items such as toys, lubes, and stimulants will be delivered through the drive-through drawer in a brown paper bag, according to the store news release. So, yeah, they're not allowed there. The case, it says that they are... Williams and her store drew national attention during a legal fight that sought to overturn Alabama's ban on sex toys on the ground of a constitutional right to privacy. So they're still opening the store even though it's illegal. How about that? Would you go through a drive-through sex store? I would.
I'm not. Well, actually, I am surprised. I am surprised that it took so long for this to happen. Because when I was driving across country, I was driving through like Wyoming and I don't know what other states that I saw this, but on the side of the freeway, there would be nothing around. It would just be fields, and then there's just a sex shop right on the side of the freeway.
Yeah, we had those in Michigan. It was called Velvet Touch, and we used to drive up to school, and we'd be like, "Oh my God, Velvet!" It was like dirty old men smoking cigars, and like, yeah. So it wasn't like a nice, like a good vibrations like what we have in San Francisco.
So it would have been. I think it would be more convenient for those shops that were on the side of the freeway.
Exactly, to be drive-through.
Drive-through.
I know. Maybe we'll start that here.
Go on the freeway.
It's a good business. Maybe. We'll see what happens in Alabama, but I appreciate them challenging the legislation. Okay, couples give out condoms to trick-or-treaters. Having a safe Halloween took on a different meaning in one Oregon neighborhood where trick-or-treating teenagers received condoms in their goodie bags. Danielle and Kathleen Harris of Silverton, Oregon, tell the Statesman Journal the free condoms were part of their effort to promote health. They also handed out toothbrushes as well as candy bars. The father of one 14-year-old girl who received the condoms, Danielle Kate, was offended and said it was inappropriate to give them to children without parents' consent. Kathleen Harris says giving the condom to the 14-year-old was, oops, a mistake. She says their usual practice is to ask teens if they're 16 or older and to give them a speech on safe sex. I just would have wanted like a Three Musketeers. I would not want a condom.
Yeah.
I always hated those people that gave you toothbrushes and apples. I was like, really? Like,
or
give me
pennies.
a Babe Ruth. Or pennies.
Yeah.
Those were always about, but condoms, you can't get, how are you going to tell if someone you're going to be like, hello, first of all, that makes your job a lot harder as the one handing out candy. You're like, what, are you checking IDs? You deserve a condom. I mean, I appreciate that the parents want to promote good sex, but healthy sex life, but I don't think you should be giving condoms on Halloween.
No, you shouldn't.
Kind of a buzzkill. So that's what happened there. All right, that's my sex in the news for
Good.
today.
I like it.
Good.
I liked all the stories.
You did.
Especially George Bush. George Bush knows how to party.
Even though
I'm not supporting George Bush. I'm really like extremely do not care about politics.
Right.
But to hear fun stories about people getting wasted, I support that.
Yeah, you do. Exactly. I know you do, honey.
Yeah.
George Bush getting... Yeah, you always heard stories about him, like, partying in college.
Yeah,
and doing all
definitely.
This stuff.
If you Google, I've seen him. There's funny videos of him wasted at parties talking into cameras.
See, but that makes me nervous when people just quit drinking without a program. Like, I have a lot of friends who are in AA, or several friends, not like all my friends, but who are in Alcoholics Anonymous. Like, it's good to have a program. And sometimes when you just quit drinking, you become like a dry drunk, and you don't really have an outlet for it to release those feelings that come along with not drinking if you're addicted to drinking. So I wonder if he's gotten any help for his drinking, not drinking.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
I don't know. Hope not. He might start drinking again. What's he got to do now? He just wrote a book.
He's hanging out on the ranch.
He's hanging out with his security. Did you watch him during the World Series? They're in the World Series.
No,
Did you watch any of the games?
I watched the second game and the last game.
Did I tell you this last week that I got stuck in the Giants parade?
Yes, you
with
did.
1 million people, and I couldn't move, and I was sweating and scared and like couldn't move,
Yeah.
and like it was like crowd mentality. Okay, let's move into some mail here.
Okay, what
All
you
right.
got? My favorite part.
I know.
I need to mention that every single time.
Every time. Just wanted to say I love the 70s porn and the hairy bush. May not be in vogue. I'm only 24, and I tell my wife to keep the bush not out of control, but natural is fine with me. Signed, Jim. So this was coming on the heels of me talking about my sex school class where I had to watch like 50 films of the biggest bushes you've ever seen. And they're not just like the bushes, like it grow, it's like everywhere.
Onto the
down
legs
there.
and
onto
stuff?
the legs, onto the behind. I mean, it is, they didn't shave. Like they weren't trimming, they weren't shaving. But this guy's 24 and he likes it. And
Yeah,
I
something's
find that
wrong with him. He needs to go see a therapist.
Stop it. I find that interesting because I've heard stories lately about kids, people, adults who are in their 20s who actually never have seen the bushes that we've seen growing up.
Yes.
Like in Playboy or whatever. Like you saw Playboy growing up, right?
Yeah.
And you saw the bushes.
Yes.
And then now the
I was
bushes are gone.
frightened then.
Were you? No,
I
you
thought
weren't.
this was not good.
That was the norm then. No, you weren't.
I swear.
You were scared of the bush then?
I was like, this is not good.
I was like thinking that was the norm. They weren't going, I wish guys weren't like masturbating to Playboy going, I wish you'd only shave, it'd be hotter. They weren't thinking that then because it was part of the norm. No, they weren't. But I like this is so interesting that he likes it. A 24-year-old. I'm totally down with that. Whatever turns you on.
It's weird. Where's he from? Europe?
He doesn't say where he's from. That's probably why. No, I don't know.
All right.
Hi, Emily. I'm enjoying the podcast via Sketcher, but he probably means Stitcher.
Yes, he does.
Stitcher is an app that we get so many listeners through Stitcher. It's an app that you can download for your smartphone and listen to all the shows, which is a great thing
And then
to do.
once you download it, you just search Sex with Emily. And
Yep,
it's right there.
and then we're right there. Last week, you and Menace talked about a few interesting subjects. One was gold diggers in San Francisco. Well, they're the same in New York. All of the girls are looking for men who can get them out of debt. Depressing. Also, going to the nude beach. It's not all bad at Haulover Beach in Miami. Lots of hot ladies and men, and of course a fair share of gay and some not so hot looking bodies. But it's all good. We go for a week every year with friends and have the best time. The people are much more outgoing than on a textile beach. We meet the best friends there. Last, have you ever tried horny goat weed?
Oh, God.
It's a natural stimulant.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it, and I'm wondering if you or anyone from your audience has ever tried it. Keep up the good work, and don't forget to delete that picture of your vajayjay on your phone. Jim. It doesn't say where he's from. So Jim, I took a picture. Okay, so backing up, for my sex class, had to take a picture of my vagina and draw a picture of it. And then I deleted it soon after because it scared me.
You know that never really deletes. It's a hard drive.
No.
You're going to have to put a drill
it's
through it.
It's deleted. It's really not.
What do I don't work with computers every single day.
So it's really in my phone?
Yeah, but...
Like, can Verizon upload it or something?
It can be retrieved some way.
Can you make sure that doesn't? It was scary. Not that I have a scary vagina. I have a nice vagina. I think it's pretty.
You're going to have to put a drill through the phone.
But it was really close up. You know, close-up photos, it was like, woo.
Yeah.
But I had to draw a picture. Anyway, and then gold diggers. Gold diggers, we got an email last week from someone saying there was tons of gold diggers in Chicago, too. They're everywhere.
They're all over the place.
I should have been a gold digger. In my next life, I'm going to be a gold digger for sure. I'm just going to marry rich and call it a day.
My friends have been saying lately, like, to even get, like, a decent woman these days, you have to, have your own apartment, have a nice car, and a good job.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Huh?
It depends what age you are. Yeah, how old are you? You're 30? I mean, I would want a guy at 30 not to have roommates, have a car would be nice, and to have a job. Not because I want him to buy me things. It's because it shows that he's a responsible, into a responsible man.
That's great, but it's not good times right now, so it's not easy for everybody to have all those things.
Right, but it's not hot when they don't. But I understand when people don't.
Okay.
No. But I don't discriminate against it. If a guy's like looking for work or whatever, that's fine. Yeah. But I can understand. It's not necessarily that you're a gold digger. It's just more like, again, the older you get.
The messed up part is they're not the same way. It's not like they have all those things also.
The women, I know.
Yeah.
Well, because it's societal.
See?
It's societal.
Oh, okay. It's a societal thing.
It is kind of a man who has a job and can be the caretaker and the hunter and the gatherer and all that stuff. So
gold diggers.
Not gold diggers. Just
digging for gold.
Digging for men who...
They got their mining hats on and their
digging for a man
pickaxe.
who's not home playing video games all day, who has a real job.
Yeah, I'm not saying... You're talking extremes. I'm just talking that it's not easy these days to have all those things.
Right, exactly. But you do. I believe that anyone, whatever. The economy's hard right now. It's a hard time. So I'm not going to believe that everyone can find something. But hopefully, there's ways to make things happen in the world. Okay. This is for you, Menace.
Yes. I
hesitated against reading this, but I'm reading it anyway. Okay. Hey, dude. So I hesitated for about 2 seconds. Hey, dude. So you don't like hand jobs. You don't like your balls to be touched, but you've tasered yourself in the balls 10 times. What's wrong with this picture? A loyal listener since August 2010.
I only tase my balls for work purposes.
Was that in the contract?
Not because
Is that legal?
I don't know if it's legal. But it's not because, I really want my balls tased today. No, I did morning radio, and you do wacky, stupid stunts like that, But you don't like your balls to be touched. I just find that interesting. I just don't.
I don't, again.
What's wrong with that?
Going back to the hand job, sorry to bring it up. I think that you haven't had a woman handle your balls correctly, and you haven't had a hand job correctly.
Yes, that's what they all say.
I am never wavering on this point. And one day, Menace, you're going to call me. You're going to be like, you were right about the balls, and you were right about the hand job. And I can't wait for that day, and I'll wait. I'll wait. But it'll happen. I know it.
People are living a lot longer these days.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Better relationships equal better sex. Sinclair Institute, the leader in sex education products for adults, has been saying it for over 20 years. I've seen some of their DVDs, and I highly recommend them. Find Sinclair's ad on my products page on my website, sexwithemily.com, and save 50% off any one item when you put in Emily50 at checkout. Enjoy the show. I promise your sex life will improve.
Hey, Emily and Menace. First off, I did not stumble upon the podcast. It was not an accident, nor was it by chance. I love sex. I searched for sex, and immediately my eyes were drawn to your show. I listen on my iPod at work since I drive a cube van all day, and your show definitely takes away the boredom. Okay, here's my beef. Several shows ago, you talked about circumcision and how it's on the decline in some areas, and your discussion waved back and forth around cleanliness and whether or not it's ugly. First off, I'm pro-circumcision, and I'm not circumcised. For one, it's obviously cleaner if circumcised, and as an uncircumcised male, it's ugly if it's not circumcised. But you missed two key things, which in my opinion is why women should have the least amount of say in the choice. I am by no means a minute man, but I don't last longer than 5 minutes usually, and I know it's because it is so sensitive that sex just feels too good. If I were circumcised, that sensation would be nowhere near as intense and sex would last longer, and I wouldn't feel so inadequate. I would circumcise myself now at the age of 28, but I don't know that I could bear the intense change now that I'm a conscious adult, not a newborn baby. Lastly, and something you likely never think of, the frenulum. I have a short one. Sex hurts, that's something, an area in the penis, underneath the penis. It hurts unless there's a lot of lube, natural otherwise. Getting oral sex with a new girlfriend was agony, anticipating her pulling the foreskin back too far, and the pain of it, telling her about it after, and her not understanding what I meant. Circumcision should be mandatory. That brings me to my final comment. Menace is right. Girls can't give hand jobs. They just don't understand where and how it feels good or when certain times require certain moves.
Amen.
Thanks, guys. I love the show immensely. James from Petersburg, Ontario.
I love that email. It's beautifully written.
It was beautifully written. And I
Good
think it's
points
interesting
made.
because the circumcision debate is huge. And he's saying he wishes he was circumcised. And the whole movement right now is to not circumcise men and to say that there is more sensation, that we're cutting off essentially the most sensitive part. Well, he's saying, yeah, I'm a lot more sensitive than a circumcised man, but I'm so sensitive that I orgasm in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. Do you want to have this intense sensation but only lasts for 5 minutes? But it's hard to say. How do you know what you can't? Like, could you imagine sitting down with an uncircumcised man, uncircumcised, because I assume you're circumcised. Mm-hmm. So can you imagine sitting down, he's like, oh, it feels so good. And you're like, oh, it feels so good. Like, how would you even compare what good is? You can't. Yeah. Like, my orgasm as good as your orgasm? I don't know. But I always assume everyone's orgasms are better than mine. That's just my own inferiority complex.
Yes.
How about that? Okay. Bonjour. Hello. Found you all on Stitcher. Emily, concerning Chris bringing his lady to orgasm via breasts. This is a letter we read a few weeks ago. I've been for years bringing my wife to orgasm as my usual foreplay prior to intercourse. She is way wet after this. My pinching, flicking, sucking both nipples at the same time for about 40 minutes drives her nuts. For me, there's no relation to small breasts. My wife has lovely 36C breasts. I also do this to her while she is having her period and is not capable to have intercourse for about a week and a half. Sincere apologies about my previous long-winded message. Please do advise on my question concerning laser hair removal on facial and breast for my wife. I think we did comment on this last week. Mm-hmm. P.S. Menace. Pre-gaming is essential for me and avoids any possible early delivery, and I can keep ready much longer. Merci. Thanks, Michelle, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Ooh, and Sarah sounds way hot. Reminded me of a fantasy of a woman effing me with a strap-on. Sarah was on our show last week. She's my sex school friend who talked all about strap-ons and stuff like that. People love that show, Sarah. She was dirty and great.
I can imagine.
So, okay. So wife has orgasm through breasts. I have a few friends like that, and I hate them. They're so lucky.
I just remember now a girl that I dated about 12 years ago that she would go crazy when I would touch her breasts. I need to mess around with her now because she had breast implants now. So I got to see.
Oh, my God.
There's a difference.
Why would you get breast implants if you could orgasm through your... Why would you take that risk of taking that away?
She wanted them.
Oh, God, she's so lucky. I have friends like that, and they're like, oh, yeah, I touched my breast, I had an orgasm. I'm like, that doesn't happen to me. Although maybe my breasts haven't been touched correctly.
So you touched their breasts and gave them an orgasm?
Me? No, I'm saying my friends.
You should try that and see
I'm saying I have girlfriends who can have orgasms when their breasts are touched, just like that.
You should test the theory to make sure it's legit.
I should touch their breasts?
Yeah, just to make sure.
I don't know that I would turn them on, some of my friends. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
You should say it's part of school and do research.
Dude, there is this one class that I have to take in my school. That's it's called a SARS class, and it's every sexologist has to take it, and you have to do hands-on sex, like probing, like stick your fingers up people's butts and stuff.
Where?
In my sex school.
Do you get to pick?
No.
Whose butt you need? No.
I swear. You prostate massage.
What?
And you get naked. I swear. And this is every sexologist around the country. It's not just my crazy school. It's called SARS, and I'm going to have to do it in February.
SARS, hello. I don't know if you know what SARS is.
But it's called Sexual Attitude Restructuring something else with the S. I don't know.
And you don't even get to pick?
No,
That's
you get like
weak.
the big guy in class that you don't want to talk to or whatever. I don't know.
And then you have to put your finger in his butt?
Well, it's an optional class. But I hear that it's groundbreaking and that you learn so much about yourself and about your sexuality. And I just feel like part of me feels like since it scares me so much about sticking my finger with a glove up someone else's butt, that I should probably do it.
Okay.
But I haven't decided yet. It's an optional class. It's not one of the required classes.
Now somebody has to stick their finger in your butt too,
exactly.
Right?
I'm not down with that either right now. Like a random finger. But apparently they train you for it, and it's not like the first day they're like, here's a glove, and put the glove on and stick it in. Like, they're not doing that. But it is something
they train you to put a finger in somebody's butt.
It's called a prostate massage.
Yeah.
You might like it. If I learn, I would do one for you if you wanted to. Just only if you wanted to.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Hey, Emily and Menace. Oh, here's the Facebook question.
Okay.
One simple question. Can you be friends on Facebook with your exes and or past sexual partners if you're in a relationship? My boyfriend and I are debating this. However, for his compromise, I've deleted all my exes and past sexual partners from my Facebook. His theory is, if you and I cannot be in a room with them without feeling awkward, then they shouldn't be your friend on Facebook. I see his side, but what do you think? Can't wait to hear Menace's theory on this one. Thanks, Michelle from Baltimore.
A lot of Michelle's.
What?
A lot of Michelle's.
A lot of Michelle's, yeah. I think that it's case by case basis about being friends with your exes. There's some exes, like I broke up with a guy 2 years ago and he was not happy that we broke up, and the first day he defriended me. So I was fine with that. I have exes from college, exes, people I've slept with on my Facebook. I mean, I don't think I delete everyone that I've ever slept with, but however, I'm not in a relationship. I can understand that when you're in a relationship, you discuss, okay, today's the day that we're putting we are in a relationship on our Facebook status, and you should delete other things.
That's a big deal.
I mean, I think if you still have feelings for somebody or you're still stalking their page, maybe it's healthy not to have it on there, healthy to have exes on there, but I don't really have a problem with it unless they have a problem with me and then they delete me. But I have never defriended anybody except for annoying people who send me invitations to things all the time. I delete those people.
Or they comment on every single thing I do.
Exactly. Delete. What do you think about being friends with your exes or past sexual partners on Facebook?
I don't care. And the person that I'm with, if she is friends with other people, I don't care. This is the thing. Why do you care? You are afraid that that person might cheat on you. That's
her
pretty much. Her
boyfriend is driving this thing and saying delete all your ex past sexual conquests.
They're afraid, even if it's like emotional or if it's physical. It's all about a whole cheating thing.
Right.
And my theory is, it doesn't matter if it's Facebook. Facebook definitely makes it 1,000 times easier. But if that person is going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you no matter what.
Exactly.
You can't stop it.
You can't.
You can't.
It's going to happen. Facebook happens all the time.
You know?
People are always...
Yeah.
Facebook is like taking over the world.
It is.
It literally is taking over the world.
Every cubicle I walk by, somebody's on Facebook.
Every day. I notice that all the time.
If I'm walking down the street, somebody's looking at their phone, they're looking at Facebook.
Exactly. I'm in the elevator, someone's like, and like, I saw like older women, younger women, men, older, everyone's looking at their face. They're walking along about to get hit by a bus, reading their status updates or whatever. And it's crazy how much it is. And everything you can log into using Facebook, it kind of scares me a little bit sometimes.
So, again, if somebody, I know Facebook makes it really easy for these people, if they are going to cheat on you, to do it. But from having to block your, the person that you have in the relationship with, from not talking to anybody else, they'll still have another avenue if they are going to cheat on you.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
They're still going to cheat. I actually blocked the first person from Facebook. Have you ever blocked anyone?
Yeah, but...
I had an ex-psycho ex that ended badly that I defriended, or I defriended him because it was crazy. And then 6 months later, he tried to be my friend again. He's like, hey, let's be friends. And I just blocked him completely. From seeing my whole profile. But that was because he was
here's
psycho.
a new thing. Here's a new thing a lot of people won't know. If they're out trying to be a player, they're going to get caught up with this. So you know how you have Facebook check-ins, right? Like there's a new thing where you can be at a location and you click check-in and it'll say, oh, I'm at a certain nightclub or I'm at the Gap or something, right? Well, if you're with somebody and they're checking in, they can type in your name, okay, and then click check in. And that takes your profile and just automatically notifies everybody else that you're with that person at that location.
Oh, I would never want that.
Well, it can happen to you right now, so I'm going to have to help you change your settings.
Oh.
So people look into your settings in the check-in settings and turn it off if you're out hanging out with multiple people.
I don't want anyone to know where I am ever.
So
okay, teach me how to do that later.
Yes. So just a warning out there.
Can we write it down?
I was hanging out.
This is what we do every week. You tell me what to do, and I'm like, I'm totally going to do that, and then I don't do it.
Well, we can
I
do it right after the show.
Okay,
we can change it.
Perfect. Let's change it.
But yeah, I just found that out because I wasn't out trying to be a player, but I was hanging out with my buddy, and he checked me in, hanging out with him, and it notified all my friends on my page. And they knew exactly where I was at.
I don't don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know all my biz.
Well, there's websites built on that where people are checking in where
I know, like
they make it
Foursquare,
into a game. Yeah.
Foursquare and all that stuff. I don't do that stuff. I probably should, but I don't. I mean, I probably should do more of this. This
is what I do. Networking. Yeah, this is what I do on Foursquare. I always check in when I'm leaving.
Ooh.
Never when I'm actually there. So if you guys are friends with me on Foursquare, you're not going to find me.
It's good to know. All your fans just cried a little.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I heard a collective sigh and cry around
but I
the
never
world.
know who's looking at my stuff. So
I know. You never know.
Cool.
Okay, let's move into some sex tips.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So this is how a man can make the sex better for the woman.
Really?
Yeah. And these are some things, that we've gone through, but I think that these are really some really good basic things that people can do to make sex better for the girl.
Okay.
Number 10. Okay, blindfold her. Okay? We've talked about blindfold before.
Yeah.
You don't want to be blindfolded because you're afraid she's going to steal your wallet.
She's going to steal my wallet and set my house on fire. But you are big into the blindfold.
I love the blindfold.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot blindfold me enough. Sexual pleasure has many dimensions, but the most important sexual organ we have is our brain. The brain is our largest and most impressive sex organ. When one sense is hindered, our other senses, via the brain, clamor to compensate. For example, a deaf person has increased sensory awareness of sight, smell, touch, and vibration. So the thing is, if you are blindfolding your partner, it increases her sensory awareness. She doesn't know where you are, what you're going to do next. And this creates anticipation. And this creates the whole spiking of the dopamine and all that because it's anticipation and it's exciting. This is also a way just to spice up your sex life. Why are you smiling and laughing at me? Because you're never going to do it?
No. Sorry. I was having a discussion the other night with my roommates, and we were talking. We're looking up. There's a website called Urban Dictionary.
Right.
So I knew all these like crazy sex positions and things to do, and I told them to type in Stevie Wonder. So when you said like not be able to see anything, there's a thing called a Stevie Wonder.
Really?
Look it up.
Okay, we'll look it up. But here's the thing: is that it creates anticipation for sex. If you tease her mercilessly mercilessly, I can't say that word, mercilessly with sensory objects such as a feather or your tongue, start off softly as this excites her nerve endings and makes them far more sensitive. So it is true that when you are blindfolded, that it just feels cool. It's like it's just hot. Like, just try it if you've never done it. It doesn't have to be a whole thing. You can take like a scarf. You can take like a tie or whatever, like a necktie, and just do it one night. Just be like, hey, baby, here's a glass of wine. Lay down. I'm going to blindfold you, and I'm going to tickle you, tease you, and do something to you, and then feel really good. And you can do it to the guy too.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do exactly? Okay,
so exactly. Well, I talked about this before, but when I blindfolded a guy once, or a few times I've done it, but I know that I drove him insane because I used my bondage tape, which I love, which you can get at adamandeve.com, which I'm going to get into right now. Adam and Eve is one of our sponsors, and you guys have got to check out this deal that they're having. You got to jump on it because it's for Sex with Emily loyal listeners, and you get 50 off most items that you buy, 50 off of anything you buy, and they throw in 3 adult DVDs and a free gift plus free shipping if you go to adamandeve.com and enter coupon code Emily at checkout. You should buy some bondage tape. I love bondage tape, and bondage tape is like this amazing tape that looks like electrical tape, but it doesn't stick to you. I've talked about this before. So anyway, I had just got my bondage tape. I was way into it, and I blindfolded him. And then I went into the kitchen, and I came back, and I had ice cubes in a bowl, and I had some like chocolate sauce and like a feather, and he was blindfolded and didn't know what I was going to do. Yeah. And so like I put an ice cube in my mouth and like dribbled it down his back, and it was like really cold. And then I had a candle that dripped hot wax. They have these candles. Oh, you should go to Adam and Eve and buy one of these candles that are, they burn at a certain temperature, so it's not too hot, but once they heat up, they smell amazing, and then you can pour it on. It's amazing. It's like
a Ricky Martin video.
You pour it on the body. I don't even know what that means.
He did that in a video where he had wax poured on him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hot. And it turns into massage oil, but it feels really good as it's dripping on you. But he doesn't know because he's blindfolded. So it just drove him crazy. And then I did the ice and the feathers, and it was really hot. And so do that to the girl. It was hot. I have to say that it was one of the highlights of our sexual relationship.
Well, people try it out and then report back to us at Sex with Emily.
Yep. Exactly. Okay. Another thing is massage. We've talked about massage before, but massage is great because especially if you're a couple who's like, it's gotten kind of boring or you're not that turned on anymore or you do have sex the same way every time, start with a massage. Sensual touch is one of the most highly relaxing and sexy things you can do for your partner, which is why it makes it into this sex list of great tips. Our bodies are without exception tense in some areas, if not many. This hinders our energy flow, including sexual energy flow. Imagine that a car has a clogged fuel filter. The fuel, our energy, can't get to where it needs to go quickly and smoothly when the car performs inefficiently and ineffectively. This is key. A relaxing sensual massage can unlock her body to some very intense orgasms and much better sex in the end. So think about how the tension and the stress that we carry. The second massage isn't just like this luxury, like, oh, give me. It's like really relaxes you. It releases all that tension and your body's freer and more open to sex. So give her a massage.
Yeah.
Give him a massage.
I've only found one girl that could give me a good massage.
Really?
And unfortunately, she lives in New York now, so I'm screwed.
Bummer.
But everybody else just sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
They just can't do it.
They can't do it the same. There's only one girl that can do it right.
You haven't had good hand jobs. You haven't had good oral sex, I don't think. You haven't been blind.
Oral sex is... Yeah,
You've
don't
had
worry.
good oral sex?
Yeah. That's fine.
No one's touched your balls appropriately, and
There's
no
only one girl.
massage.
Only one girl out there.
Who are you dating? Like, I don't understand why you haven't had any of these good things, and I just want them for you as someone who cares about you. I want your balls to be touched in a lovely way.
Oh, thank you.
That feels really good.
I like that.
I want that for you, Menace.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. One more.
Yes.
Okay. Tell her your
Very quick though, sorry.
Tell her your fantasies. Talking about your fantasies with your partner is a very conducive form of sex play. It increases communication with your partner, which is of great importance, as well as it helps you guys get to know each other. You may be surprised what comes out of her mouth, but this works both ways. Keep it light at first. Don't throw her in the deep end with fantasies about people you both know or reveal fantasies you aren't sure about. Sit back with a glass of wine, keep your clothes on. Fantasy plays can be incorporated into a game for better sex. So a lot of times women might say, "Oh, I don't have fantasy. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Like women don't have as many, typically don't have as rich of a fantasy life. I'm not even going to say that. Scratch that. Women do have rich fantasy life. They might not want to share it with you. And so there's just ways to talk about, well, if she says she doesn't have fantasy, ask her what if she could have sex in any way, what would it be? Or what's her most memorable experience with you, with the partner? You don't want to hear about the last guy she banged. But is there something that you've done? And then you can go from there. Well, she might say, I love that time when you gave me a massage, for example. And I love the way you touched my right arm. I mean, women have sensations all over their bodies in places where you don't even know. So then you learn, oh, she's really sensitive in her arm. So just have these conversations with your partner. Okay?
All right.
That's what I got to say about it. All right. That's all we've got time for now. Thanks so much for listening to Sex with Emily. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.
So you know I'm obsessed with candles, right? Have you ever heard of massage oil candles? Okay, so get this. I always light candles when I'm enjoying a glass of wine with friends, and recently they were over and I lit 3 candles for my new line called Emily and Tony. My skin felt really dry, so I went ahead and poured some of it on my hands and I gave myself a quick massage. My friends were stunned that I did this and immediately were obsessed. And here's why. See, these candles are really aromatherapy massage oils that when warmed like a candle, they melt into the most luxurious body oil that is super hydrating, leaves your skin feeling and smelling amazing, and it's perfect for massaging your partner or yourself. You can use it during foreplay, and you know me, I'm a firm believer in foreplay. They come in delicious flavors like creme de vanilla, cocoa, and fougere. Not just that, they look great in your home. So help us keep this podcast free. Check them out today at emilyandtony.com. And you're welcome.